Today we're going to discuss about a few confusions among the people. I don't know where this confusions emerged from, but this confusion exists, and it exists largely in most part of the world. But I see a lot of people are correcting this particular confusion. What is the confusion? It's about the definition of strategy. Okay, what is strategy? If you ask anybody what is strategy, they will tell you planning. They talk about how they are planning to achieve something. Okay, but that is not a strategy, that is a planning. Okay, so a lot of people getting confused between strategy and planning. Many of them consider by default a planning as a strategy. So in today's discussion, I would love to tell you strategy is different, planning is different. The name itself suggests planning. It's all about you plan whatever hierarchical, situational, A, B, C, D, order. You plan certain aspects so that you can get the results. That can't be strategy. Now the question is, if that is not strategy, what is strategy? So let me tell you what is strategy. Strategy is all about applying hypothesis and using a hypothesis to address the issue. Now, some of you start wondering, what is this Dharam is trying to tell? What is this hypothesis? What is this applying hypothesis? Where do we get a hypothesis? Yes, these are the real questions. Where do we get a hypothesis? Of course, you won't get a hypothesis so easily. And you won't apply any and every hypothesis as a part of your strategy. That is where experience, exposure comes in handy. And your ability to contemplate, your knowledge, all of them come handy. I always say strategy is not for the beginners. Strategy is somewhere like when you work in industry for 8 to 10 years, that gives a good amount of exposure, experience. After that, your brain, your mind reaches a stage wherein it can see things through and it can see the possible future. And it understands the nuances of what is taking place today and what is happening. And it can able to fig certain interpretations, and it can generate certain hypotheses. Okay? So you need to understand these things. McKinsey consultancy extensively use hypothesis. So they call it initial hypothesis, IH, initial hypothesis. So, of course, everything starts with research. You do research to find facts. So once you have adequate amount of facts, now you start understanding what is happening in that given industry or a given field. After that, you have a reason why you're commissioned for this particular project. Maybe you know to solve certain things. So that becomes your primary goal to address. To address that issue, you have to have a hypothesis. That is where you apply initial hypothesis and test it. And if it is going to give adequate results, what you're expecting, that means your hypothesis is working. Whatever reason it haven't yield the expected result, that means now you have to look for one more hypothesis which could help you to achieve your results. So I hope you start understanding strategy is not planning. Strategy is all about having hypothesis applying hypothesis and trying to solve the issue. Okay? Thanks for listening.